Welcome to week 3 of the class. This week we'll be working on the job search documents, and we'll also get started with the research component of the course, which is going to take us through the end of the semester in our large final project. Over here on this side you can see my colleague, the beautiful hound Jupiter. He's joining us today to make his contribution, and we may see his sister Ruby as well over the course of the semester. But let's get right to it. Job search. So you've got some job ads, and at this point I'd like you to pick a job ad to apply to. Let's make it a job you could conceivably apply to, and we'll stretch the boundaries of possibilities here. Why not? Throw yourself out there. As I said, you don't necessarily need to apply for the job to complete the assignment. We just need to prepare the documents as if you were. And the final draft of your job search documents should be of the quality that you would feel comfortable sending off to a potential employer. You have a couple job ads that you could apply to. You can continue to search if you like, if you need to find something that you feel might be a slightly better fit or might make for a more interesting cover letter or the like, or simply stick with one of the ones that you've already uploaded and go from there. But what do you do at this stage? Let's take a look at a job ad. Here's a posting for a research manager position at Filene Research Institute. Probably the first thing you want to do is figure out, well, who is Filene Research Institute? And generally, somewhere there'll be some information that you can access. We can find out that Filene Research Institute is a consulting research firm that works with clients in the credit union industry. Excellent. Good. And let me take a look at the job posting itself. So here in the posting, they'll explain what the job is and who they're looking for. And so you want to be able to analyze carefully what they're looking for and be able to match that to specific experiences and skills and other qualifications that you might have in your job letter. So the points of contact are going to be very important. In reviewing the job search ads, be very alert to the language that the job advertisement uses to describe the position and the qualifications. So in this case, we're looking for an accomplished project manager. They'll have to manage several deliverables simultaneously, so that will require prioritizing needs, managing risks, right? And then also being very detail oriented. This position will serve as a nexus for internal and external stakeholders. So if nexus and stakeholder are unfamiliar terms to you, then you want to make sure that you have some grasp of what it is that they mean by them. The job will coordinate with a research team. We'll have cross-functionality across teams and with researchers, research participants, and industry stakeholders. And then finally, the research manager will contribute directly to help guide Filene's research agenda as a firm. So the position will be responsible for managing research projects for clients. You'll be working with several clients at once. That will require juggling multiple projects and directing a team. Serve as a nexus for internal and external stakeholders. That is, you'll be working with people inside and adjacent to the credit union industry and understanding of their role and their needs. You'll be working with your team and other teams, multiple functions, responsibilities, and the like. Good interpersonal skills as well as a strong understanding of research in the finance industry and the like. Contribute directly by helping to guide Filene's research agenda. That means you, as a potential employee, will be contributing your own experience and qualifications to the firm and helping to expand their capabilities and understanding of the market that they serve. There's more information here, but a little too detailed for us to get into right now. If you were to actually apply for this position, of course, you would want to read through this carefully, taking note of the language that's being used so that you can use that in your own cover letter. So let's talk about the cover letter. That is covered in the Writing an Effective Letter of Application section of the Writing That Works textbook. And we'll be taking a look at that briefly. First, let's take a look at how these letters are formatted. Business correspondence formatting will be very important for this course, and so it's useful to get a early introduction to how to format business letters appropriately. A lot of formatting is just following instructions. You guys know how to follow instructions. There is a PDF on the page on which you access this video that has 3 sample letters with clear formatting instructions. There are additional formatting instructions in the textbook. Let me cover some key areas, though. This letter is written in block format. Block format and then modified block format are the preferred formats for business correspondence. It's called block format because the paragraphs are not indented. Instead, you double space between each paragraph, giving each paragraph sort of a block appearance. They're justified on the left-hand side, so in most cases that won't really make much sense to you. Justification means how it's lined up on the margin. In business correspondence, we want everything lined up on the left margin. We do not want full justification, which means it's lined up on the left and right side. If you want to experiment with justification, you can do so in Word, for instance, by going to the Home menu, and it's this toolbar here. Left justification is default and should be used for all business correspondence. The letter has a series of components. First up, your address, the return address. Generally, we don't include your name for the return address because your name will be at the bottom of the letter in the signature block. Double space, date, double space, and then what we call the inside address, the address to which the letter is being addressed. Double space, salutation, dear Ms., Mr. So-and-so. In the case of job applications, there's a question often about who to write the letter, and it's often very recommended that you do not say to whom it may concern, because that seems a little impersonal. If you don't know the name, you can write to, Dear Search Committee or Dear Hiring Manager or Dear Hiring Team. You can even write Dear Sirs and Madams, and that would be acceptable. After the body of the letter, there is a double space and then the signature block, sincerely, comma, then your name. In this case, we're going to be enclosing a resume, so you would want to consider including an enclosures line, enclosures, resume. More information, of course, can be found in your textbook. On page 263, there is a discussion of business letter format. And of course, in chapter 14, which you were supposed to read for last week, to prepare for this week, you'll find an in-depth discussion on how to write an effective cover letter, or what they're calling here a letter of application, with sample letters. And here in the sample letter that they're offering on page 539, you can see the modified block format. So remember, in the block format, the return address was full flush against the left margin, as was everything else. In the modified block format, the return address and the signature block are actually justified up against a imaginary line going down the center of the document. Either full block format or modified block format is acceptable. For this assignment, we do want to be doing a business letter as opposed to an email or the like. However, I'm not going to require signatures on your cover letters. You may want to figure out how to do that, though, how to scan in a signature or take a photograph of a signature on a white piece of paper and then be able to insert that using the insert image function on your word processor into your documents, or print out a document, sign it physically, and then scan it in order to be able to send it to a potential employer. For the sake of the assignment, though, I'm not going to require a physical signature, just the appropriate business formatting. But what are you going to put in the letter? So you've read through the job posting, you've highlighted the language that describes the qualifications and responsibilities for the job. Now you need to kind of get a sense of, well, who you are and what you are going to be saying in the letter in order to draw those connections between the language in the job posting and your own experiences, qualifications, and the like. On page 493 of your text, there is a helpful little graphic called the Personal Brand Framework. And it is very helpful in organizing your thoughts for the job application cover letter. First off, you want to be able to describe who you are. You want to be able to describe your situation. That is to say, what is it about you that now leads you to ask for this job? Why are you going to them? Why are you writing this letter? You want to be able to describe what you have to offer them in terms of your own skills, your own qualifications, your own experiences. And this fourth part is very important. Here they just describe love to learn more. I think it might be better to think about what results, what consequences, what impact might this job have for you, and what impact might you have for your potential employer. So as they point out, mention challenges you're excited about, areas for growth and exposure, how this aligns with your professional goals, and the like. Think about the result, the consequence, the impact of writing this letter and acquiring this job. This is something that we'll be focusing on throughout the semester. Writing for consequence, writing for impact, and understanding that in your concluding moments of a document, you want to make sure that your reader is able to visualize, to see, to actually gain an understanding of what it might mean to accept what it is that you are offering in the communication that you are making. This is very important for a job letter, obviously. You want to be able to lead the employer to envision you in the job to which you are applying. In addition to format and then the information that you want to convey, you need to consider the organization of the letter. And cover letters for job applications, like most business correspondence, is organized into three main sections in the body. There's an opening paragraph, central or body paragraph, and then a closing paragraph. This all needs to be done within a single page using the appropriate design principles that we'll discuss briefly. Your text has, of course, more information. In that opening paragraph, you want to be very clear about what it is that you are writing about and why you are writing to them. Identify how you managed to find the job posting. Explain who you are and why you are applying for this particular job. For a single page cover letter, the central or body paragraph should probably just be one single paragraph, although you may also do two paragraphs, and conceivably as the letters get longer, more. There are some careers and fields in which the resumes and cover letters are several pages long, but we are going to be doing single page for both. Single page resume, single page cover letter. Particularly for entry-level positions, this is the standard, and in most fields it remains the standard. In the body paragraph, you want to be making sure that you're connecting specific details from your own experience to the language that's used in the job ad. Your resume will cover a lot of your experience broadly. The cover letter is your opportunity to pull out specific examples and instances that you can use to demonstrate how you displayed or how you acquired necessary qualifications. As in the example that the text provides. The closing paragraph is fairly formal and uses fairly conventional language to thank the potential employer, to indicate your willingness to be available for questions, interviews, and the like, and reiterates important contact information. It's very important, though, to recall that even though some of the language in cover letters, like the closing paragraph, uses very conventional stereotyped language, you need to be very careful that your cover letter reflects your own independent original work. Cover letters that are copied from online templates are rapidly discarded because potential employers learn to recognize them quickly. They get several of them and then notice that they are duplicates of each other, and they are discarded because they don't reflect the original independent work of the applicant. You want to demonstrate that you understand the conventions and yet are able to originate within those conventions when you are doing any kind of business or professional writing. I'm going to close this video and then we'll start up a second video to cover design and the resume.